YouTube-account. Ja, welkom. Welkom bij deze eerste Hatha class live vanuit Pittsburgh. En ja, het is een tijdje geleden dat ik een video heb gemaakt, maar ik hoop dat jullie er zin in hebben en even een uurtje hebben vrijgemaakt. Uurtje en 10 minuten om even aan jezelf te besteden en uiteraard achteraf je lekkerder in je vel te voelen. So I hope you join me and you have been able to make an hour's time free. Ga maar liggen, Ruby. So afterwards I hope you feel better in your body and you can either go on with your day or maybe go to bed very relaxed. All right, so without further talking, let's start this Hatha practice. Ruby, settle down. Go lay down, honey. Good girl. Yes, go lay down. Lay down. Good girl. That's it. So, we start in Shavasana. So, come to your mat. And we're first gonna... Oh my gosh. Go sit down, Ruby. Down. Good. Stay there. That's it. That's a good girl. Good girl. All right, slowly come to your mat on our backs in Shavasana and just first arrive here. Whatever your day has been like or hasn't been like, let it all go. Try to release any tension. So maybe wiggle your ankles, wiggle your hips a little bit here in Shavasana. Maybe just lift your arms and just let them flop down. And just take a moment here to feel the support of the mat. Notice the sounds around you. Notice the support of your heels on the floor. Your hips are supported. Your upper back is supported. And your head is supported. See if we can release a little bit already of the tension in our body. And take a moment to observe your breath. Maybe you want to take a big breath in and a big breath out to really let go and arrive here at your mat. So if you take maybe one or two of those big breaths, then after that return to your normal, natural breath. And notice the inflow and the outflow of your breath through your nose. Notice your navel rising and falling with your breath. Maybe you even feel a slight expansion in the lower back on your inhale. So for this class, I would like you to keep coming back to your breath and really trying to link your movement to the breath. But I'll cue that and I'll remind you. So then go ahead and bring your feet together and your arms overhead. Oops, where am I? Your arms overhead. And just take a nice stretch. So really reach with the arms, flex your feet, maybe point your feet, reaching with both, reaching with the right a little more, and with your left. Good. And then maybe once both sides together, so one more real nice stretch out. Notice how your lower back is lifting. And maybe take a nice inhale and exhale. See if you can bring that belly back. Your arms will come down, sort of natural. Good. So let's take your hands behind your head for a moment and pick up your head, put it to the right, and also your feet. So we come in this little banana shape. So see if you can really relax in the shoulders. Let your feet relax too. So you're in this banana shape and you're stretching your left side of your body. It's a very gentle stretch. But notice again on your inhale and your exhale the sensation on the left side of your body. Good, and then bring your feet to the middle, head to the middle, and let's bring it all over to the left side. So lift your head up to the left and your shoulders and your feet to the other corner of your mat, the left corner of your mat. Good. And then see again, some of you might have the shoulders up a little because mobility is still maybe less developed there. So you can always take your hands apart, just making sure your shoulders are relaxed in this position as much as possible. And your feet too, can just be nice and floppy. And then again, just take 2 moments, two breaths to notice the stretch, the very gentle stretch, but a real opening of your side body because you're combining it with your breath. Good. And then bring everything back to the middle. And oh yeah, of course, I forgot to mention at the beginning of our practice, we need blocks, 2 blocks, 1 at this moment, but 2 blocks would be good later on. So go ahead and take your block and put it a small side in between your thighs. So your feet, your soles of your feet are coming to the mat. Your knees and feet are hip width apart. You have a slight press on the block. And what we're going to do here is just create a little awareness in our pelvis. So we're going to, on an exhale, we're going to squeeze the block, engage the glutes, press our lower back into the mat, and then just lift the sacrum about 1 inch or so. And then on your inhale, you release again. So that's the only thing we'll do. So hope you are ready now. Have your block in between your legs. Good. Then find your breath. And the first exhale we get, press into the block, engage the glutes, press that lower back into the mat, and notice how your sacrum lifts by itself. You don't need to lift much yourself at all. Good. And then on your inhale, release it back. Let's do that just 4 more times. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, release. At your own pace, your breath. Really squeeze the block with your thighs. Engage those glutes. Lower back into the mat. And then your sacrum lifts just a little bit. Inhale, relax. Let's take that 1 more time. And inhale, release. Good. We're going to stay here for just a little moment. I am going to take my socks off. It was a little chillier than the last days, but it's not raining yet, so that's good. So for this one, we're going to go into a moving bridge, and we're going to follow the breath, but we're doing the same basis like we just started doing, the engagement of the pelvis. So make sure your arms are nice and active, your feet are pressing into the mat. And on your exhale is where you start. You start pressing into the block, engaging those glutes. You notice that lower back rolling into the floor, but then your hips are lifting and everything comes up into your bridge. End of the exhale, inhale, release. Good. So see if you can do that 5 more times. With your own breath. Exhale, engage up all the way. Inhale, relax. Exhale, press those feet. Squeeze the block. Good. Hips up. Inhale, release. Let's do it 2 more times. Good. Now we're coming back, and let's just have a little break here. It might be me, but I'm feeling my glutes and my hamstrings already, so I hope you are too. Could have also been the ballet class I took this morning, and she was very hard on our turnout muscles, all the hamstrings. I didn't know what kind of muscles I had apparently there, but anyway, this time we're going to hold it when we come up. So we're going to just find our breath again, and as soon as your exhale comes, engaging everything, pressing up, pressing also through the arms, nice and active, good. Keep those glutes engaged, and we're going to hold here for a few breaths. And just notice if we can keep our breath nice and easy. Not letting go of the engagement there at our thighs and our glutes. Finding the breath. Good, and I think we're going well over here, so we're doing good. So inhale, your inhale, relax everything to the floor. Good, take that block out and take your knees in for a moment. And just little circles maybe at your sacrum, right around, left around, just a few. Good, and then place your feet on the floor, and we're going to just take a few windshield wipers here. Your arms can just be relaxed next to you, or just windshield wiping here. And we're almost going to come up to all fours, but first we're going to take our knees up, open up the knees, see if we can reach for the outside of our feet for a happy baby, or you can have your hands at your sides of your calves, or even in your whatever you call these, knieholte in Dutch. Backs of your knees, yes. Hold your hands at the backs of your knees, just letting it relax. Stretching here after the engagement in bridge. So you're either here, or maybe holding at your ankles, and maybe you have the reach and you can take the outside of your feet. Good. And here in Happy Baby, we want to make sure our shoulders are nice and relaxed, working towards the floor. I understand that that's not always possible, but then you might be better off taking your hands a little lower and just let the gravity work its way down on your hamstrings here. Good. All right, now bring your knees together and your feet back to the mat, and then let's roll to our side and come up into all fours for our first. Let's take a few cat-cows first. So come into all fours. And then, did I do that right? No, I kind of forget, but we're going to roll back to the mats for a moment. Let's just move a little bit through the spine, rounding it, just tiny, arching it with the breath. So inhaling, sending our nose up, exhaling, rounding the spine. Good. Just a few, because, I wasn't ready with our legs yet. We need a little more activation. So come back. My bad. Come back to your back. And we're going to bring those legs up. And let's flex the feet. You start to notice already a nice stretch on the back of your legs. Your arms can either be, let's take them straight down our body here. Good. We're going to have active feet reaching up, trying to stretch through the backs of those legs, and then open up in a V. And then we're going to just close the V and open the V. And we're going to do this, in conjunction with our breath. So exhaling together, inhaling, opening up. Just, a few times. Starting to notice the engagement of our thighs. But we're also activating our lower core. Just warming up still. Take a few more with the breath, exhaling, feet together, inhaling, opening up into a V. Exhaling, inhaling, opening up. Let's take a few more. Really try to really push through those heels if you can. I notice the fatigue is setting in. I guess I did a little too much I exaggerated a little this morning. Good. All right, so last one open. You must be starting to feel it now. Okay, now feet are straight up, soles of our feet to the ceiling. Good. Now we're going to activate that core just a little more. We're going to reach with our arms up and see if we can touch the toes. We don't need to touch the toes. It's just you're making that movement, picking up your shoulders, reaching for the toes. Good. Hold it for 1, 2, and then inhale, release back. Exhale up. Hold for 2, 1, and down. Let's do a few more. Up in the exhale. Inhale, release. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. And inhale down. And I lost count, but I think I'll give you 2 more. Because we need a strong core. It's good for everything, they say. But it definitely also helps with digestion and everything on the day. Not only the physical digestion, but also the emotional. Okay, let go of those feet, flap them around. Sorry, that was a little much. Bring them down to the mat and just windshield wiper to the inside, finding a nice stretch of those thighs. Good, so. That's the one that I kind of forgot. Now we're gonna turn back on our knees, so roll to your side. And we're gonna go straight into it. We're gonna do a little flow here with the breath, warming a little more the spine up. So let's continue where we already started earlier. Inhale to cow, exhale, inhale to cat, my bad. Exhale to cow, then curl the toes under, push back into down dog. Good. On your inhale, come forward. Exhale, back to child's pose. Inhale, you crawl up into your cow. Exhale, cat. Curl the toes under. Push back into down dog. Good. Inhale, knees to the mat. Exhale, child's pose. I'll talk you through it one more time. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat and into down dog. Inhale. All fours, exhale to child's pose. Good. Let's continue this flow and really pay attention to the breath. Inhale, exhale, rounding. Inhale down, exhale, push back. Let's go for one more round. Inhale. Exhale, rounding and go ahead with that rounding into your down dog when you push back. Good. Inhale back to all fours and back to child's pose. Good. Okay. Now come up to all fours. And the next one might not be accessible for everyone, but we're going to try it anyhow. I also want to show you this. We're going to come down in a squat, and for some of you it'll be easy to sit here. Others might want to take a blanket, roll under the feet, so to help you with bringing the floor up to you. So you either can take a roll, or you could actually take 2 blocks under your feet. What we're going to do here is just warming up the hips a little bit, and then we're up and going into our standing poses and all that jazz. So here we go. We're just going to plant our either fingertips to the floor, even if the floor might be too far away yet in this. So it could be that you're here, and that's totally fine. And what you're going to do is just bring the buttocks up. On the exhale, inhale, bring them back to wherever you are at, whether you're here or here or here or here. Just finding that range, find a little movement in that big hip joint. But combine it with the breath. So inhaling down, exhaling, sending the buttocks up, And when you exhale at the end, really let go of your neck. Inhale and exhale. Let's go for 5 more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Inhale and exhale. Good. You must have felt that also in your quads. So let's bring the feet parallel again. Good. And then bend the knees and really drape your belly over your top legs, over your thighs. Drape your belly over there. Let the head go. I'm having an argument with my sound here. So let your head go. Good. Maybe shake yes. And shake no. Good. And then we're gonna, on an inhale, we're gonna lift, we're gonna take our hands to our waist. On an inhale, we're gonna come halfway up. And on your exhale, you come all the rest up. So standing, and there we are. Whew, finally up from the mat. Ooh, my belly. Okay, I think I'm gonna take my sweater off. Yes, and it's still working, that's right. I might have to put my sweater on again, but whatever. We'll see. Okay, we're ready. We're standing up. So come to the top of your mat. And having your feet hip width apart. And you know what? Yeah, come to the top of your mat. Feet hip width apart. I'm gonna do it from this side. We're gonna just do one sun salutation, normal through, no, nothing crazy, just one sun salutation. I'll guide you through it. So on an inhale, our arms come up, inhale up, and exhale, we fold. Inhale, we come halfway up, and exhale, fold. Plant your palms, step your right foot back in a lunge, maybe if it's available, peek forward, and then exhale, left foot comes back into down dog. Good. Maybe because this is our first down dog, really, let's come to the tippy toes. Bend the knees a little and really send those sit bones up to the ceiling. Good. And then start lowering the heels as far as they can go in your down dog. Good. Alrighty. Let's come forward. On an inhale, forward into plank. Exhale, down to the floor. Inhale, little cobra. Or maybe you're up for an up dog already. And exhale, back into down dog. Good. Step your right foot up and your left foot. Big inhale, arms via the side. Exhale, hands to heart. And let's do that on the left. Inhale, arms come up. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up, long back, long neck. Exhale, fold. Place your palms, step your left foot back. Maybe peek forward and then step back into your down dog. Inhale, forward into plank. Exhale, lower to the floor. Inhale, little cobra. Exhale, back to down dog. Step your left foot up and your right foot up. Big inhale through the sides, via the sides. Exhale, hands to heart. And just stand here for a moment. Hands at your heart. Thumbs at your sternum, little bend in the little bend in the knees. Keep your eyes closed if you can, otherwise your gaze softly to the floor. And just notice how you feel here after your first sun salutation. Good. Let's continue. Let's take our arms besides our body and let's step our right foot back. Just a nice big step backward. Your right toes are about 45 degrees out, but your hips are definitely shining forward. I think I've mentioned it in other videos. If you would have like flashlights here, they would keep on shining forward, not go all over the place. Good. So we stepped our right foot back. We're going to really pay attention to our feet. So let's pull up our toes. I'm not sure if you can see it, but what I'm doing is I'm pulling up my toes. And then feel the pressure under the big toe joint and the tiny tiny toe joint and the middle of our heel. Good. And then let those toes come back to the mat. Good. Really feel your whole foot. Then see if you can start engaging around those legs. Really engage around the glutes. Let's take our hands interlaced at our sacrum, elbows working together. If you like it, you can always extend the arms back. You can keep them here, interlaced, or at your sacrum like this, whatever feels good. But see if you can keep working those elbows together. Good. So we're noticing our chest is opening up here. And now let's take our gaze up too. We have, of course, a little engagement there at the lower abdomen. Engaging around that pelvis, how we were practicing that in the beginning. Our gaze is up. Good. And then on exhale, we're going to hinge from the hips forward. Let's come here into 45 degrees. See if you can have your neck be nice and long. Extension of your back. Press through both feet, equal weight on the feet. That can feel funny since you're moving forward, but see if you can really keep pressing in that back leg. Find your breath. And then let's come a little lower if you can. Parallel your torso parallel with the mat. Find your breath. Keep pushing through those feet. Sending out the arms actively to the back, or maybe they're resting here. That's totally fine too. One more breath. And on your exhale, let's release over that front leg. Wherever you are, you can either have your hands on your shin, but see if you can let go of your head. You can always take your blocks here under your hands. But once you get wherever you are, let that head go. Let it really be loose and relaxed. Still feeling those feet pressing into the mat. You still engage those buttocks. But your torso is relaxing over the leg. Your neck is loose. You can always take a little micro bend in the front knee if it's too much. Good. One more breath here. Good. And then press through that front foot. Take your hands maybe to the waist and really press through both feet, coming back up. Good. Coming back with your right foot to the front. Right. Okay, let's do that on the left. So our left foot steps back. You know, I guess the width would be arm's length. And let's not put the feet right behind each other because you'll make yourself very difficult. Have a little bit of space between the heels. I wouldn't say railroad tracks because that doesn't work. You know, let's have one or two heels in between the front and the back foot. So here we are again, pressing through those feet, finding that grounding feeling, all those toes, going into the mat. Good, and then build up from the bottom. Feel the feet. Start engaging those legs here. And then you're here at your buttocks and your pelvis. Everything is strong. Arms come to the back of your sacrum. Work those elbows together if that feels good. And maybe send the arms down. Nice stretch on the front of the chest. See if let's not flare out here. Let's really work that lower abdomen towards our spine. Good. And then take our gaze up. You know, it's a little back bend here. Make sure those shoulders are maybe, you know, relaxing away from the ears. Don't forget that pressure on the feet. I completely forgot. Good. And then on your next exhale, hinge from the hips forward. Maybe 45 here for a few breaths. Let's take 3 breaths here. And then go to our next level, where our torso is more parallel to the floor. And if your arms are getting too much, release them at your sacrum. Feel the length from your lower back, all the way up through the back, all through the neck, out through the crown of your head. Long Long lines, think long lines in this pyramid pose or angle pose. Find that breath nice and easy, hopefully not too shaky. And then release over your front leg. Your hands can come to the floor. Take a little micro bend if your hamstring is acting up a little bit. And then either your hands at your shins, on blocks, or still at your back. But let go of your head. But don't let go of the pressure in your feet. The engagement around the pelvis. Find your breath. Good. And then to come up and out of this, take your hands at your waist, really press through that front leg. So press up, see if you can lengthen through that back and push yourself back up. Hoo-ha! That, I felt that. Okay, come to the front, shake it off. And Ruby, just laying around. Very good, Ruby. You were a little crazy at the beginning. Okay, let's continue. Let's come to the right side of our mat, and we do need a block. So this time we're gonna be opening our hips. We had our hips, sort of closed in angle pose. Now we're gonna open them up in triangle. So come to the long side of your mat. Long side of your mat, good. Take your block and let's put it behind your right foot on the floor so we can easily reach it later. We're gonna turn out our right foot. I'm not sure if you can see it here with Ruby, but turn your right toes out to the short end of your mat. And your left heel a little out to the other short end of your mat. And your front heel lines up with the arch of your back foot. So got that straight. Same idea here with the feet. Feel those feet. Build up the strength around the legs, the buttocks, and then let's take our arms out. And what we're going to try and feel, because I want you to feel in the poses, and I haven't been cueing that for you. In this pose, we want to really feel the openness on our front body. So in triangle, we are going to now move our hips back. So move your hip back, reach with your arms forward. So your right arm reaches over your foot probably, if you have long monkey arms like me. And then in this long line, you're gonna, like a windmill, bring your arms down. And then your hand will find the block, or your hand will find the bottom part here at your ankle. But see if we can keep our pelvis moving forward. So if I can quickly change an angle here, and we're here. So we don't want to stand like this. We really want to see if we can make one line, as if you can imagine yourself in between a pane of glass, for example. So you want to be good. Let me go back in this one. So we are here in triangle. I hope you found your block. Good. Feel the openness. And take 2 more breaths here. Finding the length in that top arm. Opening on the front side by just pushing your hips a little forward. Opening on the front. Good. And then to come out of it, bend that front knee. Grab your block and push out of it. Turn your toes to the front, and let's do it on the other side. So take your block behind your left foot, and then we're turning out our left feet to the short end, right heel away. Good. Feel those feet. Engagement from the feet up. Good. Arms come up. Inhale, exhale, send the hips backward, and then reach forward. Reach over that front leg. See if you can find that block or your leg. And maybe, you've done this, even though this is Hatha 1, it's nice for everyone to go back to the basics. But if you want to challenge yourself here a bit, you can always see if you can lift that arm. Don't let it rest anywhere, but feel, the engagement here in the core, that top arm helping you out, and find your breath. I'm talking too much. Find 2 more breaths here. Sending the hips slightly forward, engaging those buttocks. See if you can sense for the openness on the front. Good, and then bend into that front leg and push up and out of it. Good, arms down, toes back to the front, and let's heel, toe, then back together. Okay, let's do a little stretching before we are going to do some relaxing like Ruby. So I'm going to combine the stretch within another sun salutation. So come to the front of your mat. You know what? I'm going to do it like this. Inhale, arms go up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Plant your palms, step your right foot back. And then take that right knee to the floor, to your mat. Good, right knee to the mat. Uncurl your foot. So back of your right foot on the mat. And then press up through the front, hands to the left thigh. Good, all right. So first find your footing here, or knees and foot. Again, I'm always about the buttocks, but we need good buttocks to sit on, to not need a pillow anywhere. And also in meditation. And that is, of course, the ultimate goal of yoga, is to prepare our body and mind for meditation at the end. So I'm trying to get that in today too, just like a nice making acquaintance with it, so to speak. Good. All right, let's take our arms up on an inhale and maybe reach up and take a little back bend. Good, and then exhale, take the arms down, frame your front foot, and let's move into this half monkey pose, or nice stretch for the back legs. And then let's move forward for the nice stretch on your right front thigh. And just follow the breath. So exhaling back, inhaling to the front. Exhale back, inhale to the front. If you inhale to the front, see if you can lift that sternum. If you exhale, you can also still keep lifting the sternum here, your chest. I think we did 4. Good. All right, let's come back to the middle. Press back up to your thighs, and let's get a little twist in already. So take your hands into Namaste at the heart for the moment first, and then take your right elbow and bring it to the outside of your left knee. And then see if you can find lift there in that lower belly. So we find the twist a little higher up in the back. Good, one breath here, because my left hamstring and quad are firing. And come out, hands back to the mat, frame that foot. Curl your back foot under, step back into down dog. Inhale to plank, and then yogi's choice, either chaturanga to up dog, or from your down dog, come forward into plank. Exhale down to the floor, down to Ruby's butt. Inhale, up to cobra, back to down dog. Step your right foot up and your left foot. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart, and let's take that on the left. So inhale, arms up, exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up, exhale, fold. Plant your palms, step your left foot back, and then get that knee on the mat. Uncurl the back foot, press through the front foot, hands to your thigh. Good. Engage around the buttocks. Feel that nice stretch here on the front of your left thigh. Inhale, arms up, and maybe take a little back bend. And of course, the stretch becomes a little bigger in the back bend on your front thigh. Good. Exhale, arms framing your foot. And then we go into our half monkey. So rocking back and forth on that heel. So toes come up, When you go to the back, foot back flat on the floor when you come to the front. So exhale, back. You can walk along with your hands, just making it yourself easy. See if we can still lift a little through the sternum. Exhale, back. Find a little stretch here. Just find what feels good. Everybody, of course, very different bodies, different degrees of muscles and strength. So for those with more muscles, it's sometimes hard to find this stretch. Good. Okay, let's come back to this in-between position. Hands back on your thigh and hands to the sternum. Twist to the right. So left elbow comes to the outside of your right knee. See if you can find that little lift here in that lower abdomen so we can get that twist a little higher in the back. Find one more breath. All right. And then curl, frame your front foot, curl your back toes under, press back into down dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, down to the floor. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, back to the floor. Up into plank. Exhale to down dog. And then step your left foot up and your right foot up. And inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Very nice. Let's take our hands beside our body and we're going to roll down. So first take your gaze up. And then take your chin to chest. Rolling down through the spine. Maybe a little slower than I'm showing right now. Whatever feels good. Whatever it takes for you to come back down onto the mat. And let's see. We're going to come to our inverted action. So all fours. And then wherever your hands were, take your elbows down. Good. Hands together. Let's measure the width of so our hands should be able to cup our elbows. Good. And then bring them forward. You can interlace them or just hold them like a book together like this. So we're going to do a little prep and I'll show you two variations. This is a dolphin prep, this one. So if this is rather new to you, I would suggest you do this one. So take your knees maybe an inch or 3, 4 or like 10 centimeters back and then just move forward and push back. So this does a little bit also for your core. You can either do this one or take your knees a little back to the initial position, curl your toes under and come into dolphin. So then at that moment you can walk up your feet maybe a little bit, see what feels good. Hips not wider than the hips, feet not wider than the hips. Head is relaxed in between your upper arms. Good. And in this dolphin pose, you can now also go for a swimming dolphin. So really coming forward, keeping that core lifted, exhaling back into sort of down dog position, but then on your forearms. So inhale to the front, exhale to the back. Or you're on your knees, inhaling to the front, exhaling to the back. Good. So let's take this however you feel. I'm going to go for 3 more. Inhale to the front, pressing through those front arms, exhale to the back. Really working on shoulder strength, but also mobility. And your core is helping you out big time here. So really lift through that core when you come forward. Maybe even sink your hips a little if you're crazy. And then push back into down dog. Good. That was our inverted action. Our knees are going to come down. And it's important to keep your head down too. So coming to child's pose now. Arms relaxing to the back. Let it go. Find your breath.
Let's take 2 more breaths here. Relaxing your face. Relaxing your abdomen. Good. And then crawl your arms forward and come onto your belly, however best for you. So come onto your belly. And let's start with our forearms folded in sort of in crocodile here. So forearms folded, forehead resting on your arms. Good. We're going to prepare for our back bend here. And we're going to work towards bow pose. So let's bend the knees. So our knees are never wider, not wider, sorry, not never, but not wider than your hips. Actually, you know, let's bring them together and maybe you will find more engagement, or it's easier to find engagement. So bring them together. Firm up the legs, then your buttocks, and then send the pelvis into the mat, so to speak. Then bend your knees, and then see if you can lift those knees off the mat. So your buttocks are really going to be engaged, really working those glutes. Your glutes are lifting, your hamstrings are lifting those knees up. Good. This is heavy, and probably the lift is not very high, but that doesn't matter. Feel that engagement. And release. Good. Straighten the legs again too. Now let's take your arms beside your body. And let's see. So let's take your forehead to the mat. Arms beside your body. Either palms down or up, whatever you prefer. And we're going to do the same thing, but now we're also going to lift our shoulders and head when we are lifting our knees. So we're going to go again, firm up those legs, buttocks, pelvis into the floor, bend the knees, lift the knees with your buttocks and hamstrings, and then lift your shoulders and your head. Good. Feel the breath. This is hard. And come down to the mat and then turn to your right cheek. And so for those who want to try and are able to reach their ankles, you can do that the next time. But first, catch your breath. Good. And then back with your forehead to the floor. Legs are engaging. Legs, glutes, pelvis, bend at the knee. Lift them up. Then lift your shoulders and head. And if you can, see if you can reach for the ankles. And then you'll notice that they'll come a little bit a ways. But you can be here in your bow pose. Feel the breath. Or be here. Feel your back working hard, your glutes, everything. And release. And turn onto your left cheek. Good. And then yogi's choice. We will do it one more time. Either you grab for the ankles, you reach for the ankles, I shouldn't say grab, or you do it again, not just the knees and the shoulders and the head. Good. So turn your head back to center, forehead to the mat. Again, really firm up the legs, glutes, pelvis in the floor. Bend the knees, lift the knees. Good. Reach those arms, lift the shoulders and your head. Find your breath. Or if you can, reach for the ankles. Find the breath. Notice how the breath is moving you here in bow. And release. Good. Release the legs, release your arms. Take your arms back under your forehead, and let's release. Let's shake those hips a little side to side. Rock your forehead from side to side. Take your feet up to the ceiling and rock again side to side. That was our back bending for today. Good. And then take your hands under your shoulders and just come up to seated on your buttocks for a little twist. So take it easy. We did release the spine already a little bit in our crocodile and everything just now. But let's bend the left knee and take either your right knee over the side like this in a seated twist. Well, actually, this is the Lord of the Fish twist, I believe. You can also, if it's too much, you can extend one leg and then take one leg in. So maybe you can see it like this. Or you can take that left leg in, bend your right and set your right foot next to that left knee here. Good. Make sure wherever you are, you can feel your sits bones. Good. And let's, on an inhale, bring our arms up. And on an exhale, turn to the right. Our left arm can go hook behind that left knee, and our right hand comes behind your sacrum on the floor. You can twist around the spine, twisting from the waist, the rib cage, shoulders, and maybe your head, if it feels good. Or you're in that half fish, Lord of the Fish pose, and you can either have your foot on the inside or on the outside. All kinds of variations, good. And then still that left arm wraps around or hooks behind, and the right hand comes behind your sacrum. See if you can find lift on the inhale, lengthening, and exhale. Maybe you want to twist a little more, and maybe you say, no, this is good enough. That's fine too. Then see if you can release any funny tension anywhere, maybe in your hip flexor, if you have that leg straight. Good, and then slowly come out, slowly. Then extend that right leg, and let's do it to the other side. So either your right leg bends and your left comes over. What did I just do? Or your right leg extends and your left leg is up. Good. So either on the inside or the outside. Wrap around with your right arm, wrap around your left knee. Left arm comes behind at your sacrum. Find your sits bones, whether you're in the half Lord of the Fish or you're in the whole, Lord of the Fish. Good. Find those sits bones. And see if you can lengthen. And on your exhale, start twisting from the waist, the rib cage, the chest, the shoulders, and maybe your head over your shoulder. Yeah, I can notice I have much more range of motion to the left than to the right. Notice the breath here. When you inhale, your belly presses into your thigh. Trying to start off focusing our attention more inward towards the end of our practice. And inhale, lengthen, and come out. Wherever you were with the legs, shake them out for a moment. Or maybe windshield wipe, just whatever feels good. Before we can come into just an easy seat, as in crisscross applesauce. And let's take a little lateral stretch before we move on into a forward fold and then get ready for our systematic relaxation and maybe a little seated guided meditation. We have to see what the time allows for. Yes, I think we can do it. Okay, so nice, you arrived in your easy seat. Relatively easy, this is not always easy. So let's take our right arm and just lean to the left, lean on that left hand. Let that arm wave over to the side. Notice that whole stretch there on the right side. Good. And then take it over through the middle to the left. Just finding a nice stretch. Seeing if we can keep, if we go to the left, see if we can keep that right hip on the floor. Let's not let hike that hip along, but really send that knee, for example, down. Feel those sits bones. Good. That feels good. With the breath, inhale through the middle, exhale through the side, to the side. Just a little lateral movement for the spine after that back bending. Good. All right, come back to the middle. Yes, let's take our feet out, wider than the hips this time. Bend knees. Most of us will definitely need a block, and maybe sometimes we need 2 blocks. We're going to come into this initial tortoise pose. So it's a forward fold, so we're just going to reach our arms up and then just hinge, forward, fire the hips, see if we can land our arms here in the middle. And then if we can let go, we really have to make sure we can let go of the neck. So either you have 1 block here, or maybe you have a block and a fist, or 2. Or sometimes, you have like, sometimes you need everything you got. Because it is, our backs are tight, our hamstrings are tight. It's good, it's fine. That's why we have all those props. So come into this forward fold. Let your head rest. Start to notice the stretch in the lower back. Make sure you relax the neck and the head. And hopefully that dog can relax soon too, but I doubt it. I hear him too often. Also at night, it's crazy. Good. And if you want to take this a little farther, because this is more like a prep towards tortoise, you can see if you can wiggle your feet together. So the soles of your feet together. And then you had your arms within your knees, in between your legs. But now you can see if you can wrap those hands back out again and around your feet. So your soles of your feet are together now. And your hands are straddling around your feet. And your neck is still relaxed. Start to pay attention to your breath again. Notice how it can fill out your lower back and the sides of your back. And maybe with every exhale you can let go of a little tension there up in the shoulders. Good. And then to come out slowly, lift your head back into a neutral position. And then slide your hands back through the middle and up. Bring your knees back together. Good. And then let's make our way into supported bridge. So, take your time, move slowly and consciously. Come down. Either help yourself by grabbing behind your hammies, rolling down, planting your soles of your feet, and place the block under your hips. And often we need to place the block a little higher than we think. So a little, almost, like almost at your lowest rib. No, maybe that's a little too high. So let's say halfway your buttocks, and actually take your thumbs, put them in your navel center, and then draw this imaginary line to the back, and then that's where the top of your block should be. So see, I had it too low again, so a little higher. Good. Now, activate through the arms. Even, curl the shoulders under. We really want to push through the shoulders here when we're up in inverted action. So first we're here in supported bridge with our block. But then let's go ahead and take our feet off from the mat. So we have this nice pressure on the shoulders. Nothing of any kind of pressure on your neck. And then extend your feet up to the ceiling. And close your eyes if you haven't already. Let your feet be floppy. They don't need to be flexed or pointed or anything. Just relax the feet. Relax your cheeks and your jaw. Relax your mouth. Start to notice the breath at the tip of your nose. Really relax the cheeks, the tongue in your mouth, your jaw, soft throat. And notice the breath coming in through the nostrils and out. Good. And then you could always stay as long as you like here. Often it's not as long as you like. 5 minutes would be good with the feet up. But let's take them down and soles of the feet to the floor. Engage around the buttocks when you lift up away from the block. And then slowly return your back to the mat. Uncurl your shoulders and just notice your back. Notice how you feel. And then go ahead and extend your legs and make yourself comfortable for Shavasana and my guided relaxation. So I'm going to put a sweater on. So make sure you're in Shavasana. Maybe you need a little blanket under your head. Maybe you need pillows under your knees. Make yourself comfortable. Wiggle your ankles maybe a little bit, maybe a little wiggle there in your hips. And let me guide you. I won't keep you too long, but a guided relaxation is very beneficial for letting your whole practice actually soak in. And so notice the support of the floor. Like we said, like I mentioned in the beginning, notice your heels, your calves, your hips, your upper back, your head, either supported by the mat or maybe a pillow or a blanket. And then take your awareness to the top of your head. Find your easy, natural breath. Soften your forehead and your temples, your cheeks, your jaw. the tongue in your mouth, your throat, relax your shoulders, your collarbones, your upper arms, elbows, lower arms. Soften through the hands, your fingers, all the way to your fingertips. See if you notice any sensation at the fingertips. All the while observing your breath. And then releasing back up through the hands, wrists, elbow, upper arms, shoulders. Soften your chest. Soften and relax the ribs and the back of your torso. Relax your abdomen. Soften your lower back. Relax your hips, your glutes, front of your thighs. Your knees, all the way down to your ankles. Softening, relaxing the tops of your feet, your toes, all the way into the tippy toes, tips of your toes. Keeping your mind anchored on your breath while feeling those places and spaces. Soften the soles of your feet, your heels, relax your calves, backs of your knees, your hamstrings, your glutes. And see if you can bring your awareness to the bottom of your spine, your tailbone, so to speak. And just keep observing the breath while having your attention at the bottom of your spine. And then see if you can move up your awareness to the middle of your pelvis. Middle of your hips, your pelvic bowl. And move your awareness up to your navel center. your heart center. Your throat center. And then to the middle of your brain, right behind your eyes. All the while observing your breath. And then up to your forehead. And then take 1 or 2 breaths as if you fill up, maybe a slightly bigger breath, filling up all through the body, exhaling. Start to wiggle your toes and your fingers. Take your knees up. Shift your hips a little and then roll to it, whichever side you like. Take a moment here on your side. Maybe slowly open your eyes. And then push yourself up to seated. Let me see, I think we can do it. Let's do it. Push yourself up to seated. Make sure you sit on something a little bit elevated, whether you are in an easy seat, hips a little slightly higher than your knees. Your hands can be resting on your knees. Find a little engagement in your lower abdomen and really see if you can lengthen up through the spine. So however you sit comfortably here. Think long spine. Relax the arms, let the elbows bend and rest. And let's take a moment here to see if we can find a similar kind of relaxation as we did in Shavasana, the feeling. I'm not going to guide you through one of those all the way again, obviously. See if you can remember that feeling. Still find a little engagement there in the lower abdomen, lifting up from your lower back. Close your eyes or have a soft gaze just out in front of you. Notice the breath at your nose again. Your breath, nice and easy, natural, nothing big. Whatever feels good. And then take your awareness again back at your forehead. Observing the breath. And then to the middle of your brain, about behind your eyes in the middle. Move your awareness to your throat. Maybe even noticing the subtle breath moving through the throat. And then bring your awareness to your heart space, right behind your sternum. And then let's take our hands in Namaste at our sternums, or our thumbs at our heart area. And let's take a fold forward or a bow to seal in the benefits of your practice. Come up, slowly open your eyes. Namaste. Thank you for maybe joining me in this first live stream, or maybe later when you saw the replay of it, because they all get saved as a video afterward. So yeah, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll keep you posted when I'll be going live again. So enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks again for your time, and I hope you feel a little bit better. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. Hey, Rubis, you were a good girl. You were a very good girl. Such a good girl.